I, 27 AM, met a girl, 27F, who used to bully me when we were little. Now she is asking me out, and I don't know what to do. I was heavily bullied since the beginning of kindergarten until the end of middle school, when I transferred in a different town. My classroom had 15 children, me excluded. Out of these 15, 7 of them used to bully me constantly, and the other 8 simply ignored what was happening. Out of the 7 bullies, 4 did some particularly heavy shit. I'll call them the B team. You can guess what B stands for. While the other 3 did some random lighter things, throwing paper scraps at me, stealing pencils and things like that. I will call them the C team, or acted as followers for the B team. What the B team did to me scarred me for life, and I had to go to therapy to deal with it. If I met them today, I would make them pay for everything they did to me. My hatred for the C team is not nearly as big, but it's still vivid. Until last year, I couldn't bring myself to forgive anybody in that classroom, both teachers and students, for doing nothing to help me when the B team was tormenting me. Last year, though, my hatred started to fade following some serious events in my life. Sorry, I won't share what events. When I transferred, I swore to myself I would never go back to that town or talk to any of them ever again. Despite that, my past has found ways to follow me. I work in a pub. Not sure if this is the right term in English. Part-time twice a week, and around 6 months ago I met Nina, 27th, there by chance. Nina was one of the 3 bullies of the C team, and while I have forgiven them now, it doesn't mean I want to have anything to do with her, so I tried to stay professional and act as if nothing was wrong. Anyway, physically she hasn't changed much. I mean, she has grown up since middle school, obviously, but I could still recognize her. I'm not sure if I made myself clear. The same cannot be said for me probably. In middle school I was fat, white like snow, and I had light brown hair, while now I'm fit. My skin is a bit more pink, and my hair have darkened in the last few years. When some of my friends look at my old photos, they struggle to recognize me. We didn't talk for much as I was working, and she initially didn't recognize me, but when one of my colleagues called me to ask me something, she connected the dots. I have a particular name that is rare in our country, as it's really old-fashioned, and nobody uses it anymore. Imagine, I don't know, being called Aristotle today. Once she recognized me, her demeanor changed drastically and she got out pretty soon. She came back a couple of times in the following months, and she was quite shy toward me whenever we interacted. A few weeks ago, she got mildly drunk and she started sobbing and ranting about what a crappy person she was in the past and how her life is shit. It was the classic drunken rambling, and I didn't pay it much attention. I simply stopped serving her alcohol and gave her some water, but at some point she grabbed my hand while I was taking away one of the empty glasses, and she apologized. I have to say it felt weirdly good. She didn't come back in the following weeks, but a few days ago she texted me on social media, apologizing profusely for whatever she did while drunk, and then she suddenly asked me out. At the time, I was evidently too stupid or tired to understand clues and didn't understand it was meant as a date. She asked me out for a coffee, and I thought she simply wanted to apologize in person or talk about the past in a more sober state. I realized my mistake yesterday when I talked about it with a friend. Now I'm torn on what I should do. On one side, what Nina did in the past has conditioned me greatly, and I can't simply forget about it. On the other, she really looks apologetic and she seems to have changed. It's been 15 years and maybe I should give her a chance. Update. After reading your advices, I decided to meet Nina, 27F, for that coffee. It was awkward, but it wasn't that bad. She apologized profusely about the past. I thought her apologies would make me feel good, but to be honest, I was wrong. The truth is that I still think badly of the Nina who bullied me in middle school, but I couldn't see that Nina in the current Nina. I don't know if what I'm trying to say makes sense or if my brain finally decided to give up on me. Her voice, her demeanor, everything except for her face is completely different. I told her exactly how what she and the other bullies did affected me, and then I decided to forgive her, more or less. I decided to start over as strangers and told her as much. I told her that while I couldn't forget what she did in the past, I don't know the current Nina. It's been 14 years since those times. More than half of our lives passed since then, and I firmly believe people can change. I did. So if she wanted to try and get to know the current me, we could act as if that was the first time we met and move on from then. I don't know if this decision shows my maturity or my stupidity. I guess the future will tell. I admit what she did next made my giggle a bit. I think she took it from a film, but I don't remember which one. She stood up and got out of the coffee shop, then came back in, sat down and introduced herself. We chatted for a bit, and it was okay. Follow or subscribe.